Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at something a little different. Last time I spoke about my pocket folders, the honey badgers. That was my first review of those knives. And yeah, just I had a bit of a general chat about knives and why I like to everyday carry them. So today I'm going to talk about another item which I do carry with me pretty much every day. Well, we're actually going to do a review of a few of them. This is my Leatherman Wave. I've had this for a few years. I passed it on to a friend, got it back from said friend, had it repaired. It's still doing well, and I still use it on a daily basis for multiple reasons. The Wave is still a legendary tool. But one that I do keep clipped onto my pocket is this little Leatherman Wingman. So we're going to take a look at this guy as well and see what this little tool has to offer. And then the two latest tools to my sort of stable of multi-tools that I currently have, the Leatherman Surge. Now, I have owned a Leatherman Surge before, but lost it through a whole bunch of things that happened. So we're going to be taking a look, opening this up, taking a look at the Leatherman Surge, and we're going to do a comparison between that, which is, I believe, Leatherman's largest tool, and another one of their largest tools, the Leatherman. This is the Leatherman Super Tool 300. So it's the third or fourth, I'm not sure, generation of the Super Tool range. So we're going to take a look at all of those on the bench, and you guys can draw your own conclusions as to which ones are great for you. But I'll talk about why certain ones are my favorite for everyday carry. I own them all, I keep them all. The bigger ones I tend to keep in my backpack, and the smaller ones on me. But I'm going to talk about them, all their merits, their demerits, what's nice about them, what's not nice about them, and you guys can decide for yourself if it's something that you want to get. So let's get down to the bench and take a look. Hey guys, so I'm going to start here with the Leatherman Wingman, being the smallest in my stable. It's actually a really cool sort of pocket clip tool. That's something I like about it. You don't need to be wearing a belt or anything like that to carry this multi-tool with you. It's made very high quality. It feels very high quality in the hands. And overall, just a nice little tool to have. One of the favorite things about this specific tool is that it is spring loaded, so you don't have to have a finger underneath here to open it up. It'll open itself up, and altogether a really cool little tool. Let's just get in a little bit closer. You'll see this is Leatherman's older style jaw, with the standard sort of wire cutters, non-replaceable, small little plier head, needle nose pliers, normal pliers, etc. There's nothing too spectacular about it. The one thing that I noticed is most of the Leathermans have Leatherman sort of stamped in on the plier head. These don't, but again, still a fantastic tool to have. Now, while we got it open, let's just talk about the inside tools. Inside this guy, we have the star screwdriver and the large flat screwdriver, which is more like a pry bar. Very handy to use every day. And then what else do we have over here? On this side over here, we have a box cutter, also very sharp as a box cutter, a small flat, a file, a bottle and can opener. So that's your sort of inside tools, the ones you can't access when the tool is closed. So now we're going to close the tool. And over here we have a really decent knife. You'll see it's half serrated, half straight edge. Very cool, very sharp, and decent for just cutting general stuff, rope, whatever. And on this side over here we got the pair of scissors, which you have to click into place fully for it to work. Again, very sharp, handy to use, nice for everyday sort of use. And that's pretty much the Wingman in a nutshell. Like I said, a nice pocket clip tool, nice to carry with you. Also nice if you don't even have another knife, just to carry this with you, because it has a better assortment of tools than just a pocket blade. And the blade itself is relatively decent sized. So, I mean, you can get the job done. Let's move on to the next one. And the next one we have in the tool assortments is this one in the old leather pouch. Sorry, the dynamic range of my phone is not too good. As long as you can see the tool, I'm happy. This pouch is very well worn, but let's get inside. This is the Leatherman Wave. It is one of the first generations of Waves, and I do have the bit set in here, which I carry with this old tool, hence why it is one of my favorites. Now the Wave, in size comparison, I would say a little bit larger than the Wingman if you put them side by side, but I mean only slightly larger. And for the tool sets that this carries compared to the Wingman, it's a no-brainer if you're going to get just one of them. So the Leathermann Wave, let's just talk a little bit about it. There's a few nice things about this tool. Again, it has the option for certain tools being able to be deployed without opening the pliers. For example, let's just go through those actually. Here you have this bit of jimping on this one, which tells you straight away that I know when I open this, I'm going to have the serrated blade. And then there you have a really nice serrated blade for cutting rope, twine, etc., that sort of stuff. And over here, you have a really cool saw for wood cutting. On this side over here, you have your straight edge blade. Also a really nice blade, and I like Leathermann's locking mechanism, how it locks into place. It's fairly decently done. And then on this side over here, you have the file. What is that? A diamond file, whatever it is. But yeah, I don't use that too often, but that is there. Then, as we head on inside, again, this has got the older jaw pliers. There is a newer version with the newer jaw pliers. But again, what I spoke about, you can see the Leathermann stamped into the plier head over there, which I don't see on the Wingman. Then again, in here, we have a selection of tools. We have a flathead, more like a pry bar, if you ask me. We have a small eyeglass, a screwdriver, and we have a pair of scissors for cutting. Not quite as nice as the Wingman ones, but they're there if you need a pair of scissors. On this side over here, we have one of the more important reasons why I enjoy this tool, the bit exchanger, where you can exchange that bit set that I showed you earlier for whatever bit you're wanting. Then over here you've got that bottle opener, can opener / wire stripper at the bottom over there. Pretty much a multi-tool. Now, just to let you know, these do lock into place when you open them, like such, and you actually have to push this release button to release the tool back so you can put it away. The Leathermann Wave, nice selection of tools, a really cool option if what you are wanting is a multi-tool that's not too heavy to carry, that you're going to use every day. This is probably the tool to go for. Now, before I put this tool away, I'm going to introduce the next one in this review, which is the Leathermann Surge. I'm going to go with the Surge first because the Surge to me almost seems like a larger version of the Wave. So there you have the Leathermann Surge, toe to toe with the Leathermann Wave. You can see it's quite a bit of a larger tool. So let's take a closer look at the Surge and what you get in that sort of set of tools. Okay, so inside here you get the additional sort of blade set for different fittings. I'll show you with the blade exchanger how that works. The Leathermann Surge has a really cool mechanism like a blade exchanger. But here, let's go have a look. So again, you know about the feel over here. This is your serrated edge, a nice serrated edge blade. This one a little bit larger than on the Wingman, on the other one. Then you've got your fixed blade, also a really nice blade and actually quite big for use for cutting, etc. Then what I spoke about is a really cool pair of scissors. The Surge actually has a really nice pair of scissors in my book anyway, but it is a little bit sticky still. This tool is new, so you have a really cool pair of scissors for cutting, and I quite like this jimping on the scissors handle and how they've made that a little bit thicker so more comfortable to use. That's pretty cool. And the other tool that this has, very different from the Wave, is this blade exchanger. So you can open this up and you can change this for other blades that are in that set. It's really cool. I like that functionality. Then again, the new Surge has got the new Leathermann plier head with the replaceable cutters, as you can see there. And again, Leathermann stamped in. Nice and beefy, solid, well made multi-tool. And in my hands, this fits. But my only gripe with this tool over here is the weight of it. It's a lot heavier than the Wave. but again, in so saying, it has a really cool tool selection. So if you want the ultimate in tool selection, this is the tool to go. So let's just have a look at some of these on the side over here. You've got a small flat, large flat, more like a pry bar again. And then you've got like a, what's that, sort of like a leather punch tool or whatever the case may be. And on this side over here, you've again got that same bottle opener and bit driver. Really cool. Nice piece of hardware. You will notice this is lacking that little eyeglass screwdriver, but it also has the locking mechanism here. So when you deploy one of those tools, those will lock into place. This one, again, like I said, still quite tight. It's a new tool. The ultimate Leatherman, in my opinion, the Leatherman Surge. So now, last but not least, we're going to have a look at the SuperTool 300. The SuperTool 300, just to compare it in size, is more or less a little bit smaller. Well, it's probably about the same length, but a little bit less bulky than the Surge. The Surge, again, being the biggest tool with the most tool selection. This one has less tool selection, but it's still a really nice EDC multi-tool, and we're going to get into that now. So now, as mentioned, the latest addition to my set, the Leatherman SuperTool 300, comes in this nice brown leather pouch. I'm a fan of leather, but I'm a bit wary of this belt holder. Plus, the size of these tools, I'd probably prefer to carry them horizontal than vertical. But let's get into the tool and have a look at what this little guy has to offer. Bearing in mind this is quite a bit cheaper than the Surge, but still nonetheless a heavy duty tool. It's one of Leatherman's more classic designs. Now the older ones didn't have the same locking mechanism to lock these tools into place. In fact, the first one had quite a poor locking mechanism, which they fixed with the second gen and now with this 300. So the 200 was better than the previous, the 300 better than that, but some people talk about how the older models were better built, but I suppose everybody's always going to have a gripe, and whichever tool you tend to have is going to be the one that you say is the better one. I didn't have the previous one, so I can't actually answer to that. I've just read reviews and stuff. So there you have the same large pliers with the replaceable cutters as the Surge. The difference being, again, quite a nice comfortable tool, not as heavy as the Surge, so I could be comfortable and persuaded to carry this every day. The biggest issue with this one is, of course, no tools on the outside. All the tools, you have to actually open the tool up and then you can engage. This tool has a really nice knife, and that locking mechanism, by the way, has a very nice positive engagement, and you actually have to push this button quite hard to unlock that tool. So you've got your knife, you've got your file, and in between that you've got that leather sort of awl, large flat, medium flat on this side. Again, a nice selection of tools. Heavy duty. All of them feel really well made. In fact, these tools feel a little bit better made possibly than the Surge, a serrated blade. You've got your wood saw. Let's get these all out. Be careful, that serrated blade is very sharp. Okay, so there we have it. You've got your serrated blade, your wood saw, your can/bottle opener, your Phillips screwdriver, and your smaller flathead screwdriver. You do get an adapter for this to be able to use the bit driver kits, which I plan on getting. And there you have the modest, but for everyday carry, probably reasonable amount of tools in one pair of pliers. It feels really good, I must say. It's not quite the same comfort as the Surge, but it still feels like a solid, heavy tool ready to do some work. So, my opinion, at the moment, the one that I will carry with me most of the time, more than most of the others, on me, and my person, the Wingman. Purely a size and convenience thing. I work in IT, I don't do a lot of heavy duty work. This here clips into my pocket next to my folder, does everything that I would mostly need from it. If I ever needing to do something a bit heavier, I have this tool in my bag most of the time, and I have the Surge in my car most of the time, or in my bag, and I alternate them, whatever the case may be. But this always clip to me. The Wave, quite often on my belt. If I can get a new pouch, I'll start belt carrying it again. And then this one here would probably be my go-to bag tool. And then if I really needed something that these can't accommodate, then I would go to the Surge. So my opinion, if you were to purchase one multi-tool for everyday carry, only one, you had the option. It depends. Are you a serious tool user, or are you just somebody carrying one in case? If you're carrying one in case, get the Wingman. The Wingman, a nice tool to have in your pocket. It's got a nice selection of tools for the money. It's cheap. If you lose it, you're not going to cry. A really great sort of everyday carry multi-tool. If you're wanting to get one that you're actually going to use, guys, get the Wave. Probably get the Wave new generation, or this one, it doesn't really matter, but get the Wave. It's got a good selection of tools, and you can add to your tool complement on these, and it's also not a very heavy tool to carry with you. Really nice multi-tool, in my opinion, and my favorite multi-tool is the Wave. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, take care.